For this project, I picked the play Death of a Salesman, written by Arthur Miller, because I read it in high school and I thought it was amazing, so I wanted to do my project on it. The main plot of this play is that this man named Willie Loman wants the best for his family, and he faces the reality of the situation, and it's not the way he expected it, and then it ends up inevitably leading to his demise. Some of the major themes that we see throughout this is a lot of the American dream, because that's what he wanted for his family and for himself, and it ended up not being the reality of his life. And just seeing how just because you dream something, it's not necessarily going to happen. So it's the whole conflict between what you want and what is actually happening in your life that you see a lot throughout this play. The main characters of this play are mostly the Lomans. There's Willie Loman, who is the father in the family, and there's Linda, the mother, and then the two sons, Biff and Happy, who are the ones that are mostly portrayed through the father's visions. And there's Charlie, who also keeps Willie on track with what reality is. The playwright for Death of a Salesman was Arthur Miller, who had written this play in like 1950s era, and he was born in 1915 in New York City. And he wrote other famous plays like The Crucible and All My Sons, which were all from around the same era. Right around this time was when World War II ended in 1945, and it happens that Death of a Salesman was released in 1949. And a lot of things that were going on during this time was that families were coming home and they wanted to have this American dream, and Arthur Miller expressed how sometimes this isn't what reality is for those people. The producing theater of this play was Broadway, where it was released in 1949, and it's in New York City, as many of us know, and it's a very popular tourist attraction for people when they go out to New York, and they're mostly known for musicals, but this was performed there. For this play, I've decided to take on the character as Willie Loman, because he is such an important character throughout this play, and he expresses a lot of the themes and struggles that are within the plot. As an actor in this position, I would really focus on being really dramatic about how hopeful he is, because he wants so much for his family and for himself that it's not attainable. So I'd really make sure that I'm dramatizing how hopeful he is for his family. Just focusing on the contrast between the reality of the situation and the hopes for the situation would be my main objective, since it is a major theme in the play, and as this picture is showing, he's hoping for something, and just showing the audience that his hopes that are going on is not actually happening in his life. With the theme of the American dream throughout the play and the way I'm dressed, it would show how although you can dream big, you're not going to necessarily have it big. And I would do a lot of that expression through the way I'm dressed and everything around me, like my house and my family and how they're behaving as well. What I love most about this play is the fact that it's a tragedy, and it shows the American dream in such a sad way. So being the main character of the play, I would want to make sure that I'm allowing the audience to empathize and also sympathize with what Willie's going through. So I would really want to focus on the dynamic and also show how Willie isn't aware of what's going on because he's so excited for what could be, and show that the reality is not what he expects it to be. Thank you.